right, well, welcome to our practice this evening. I'm going to go ahead and ring our bell so that we can head and begin. We'll start lying down, join you in just a moment. While you're resting here, start to let your focus and attention move away from the rest of your day. Start to let your attention and focus into this moment. We use all of our senses to do that. Noticing what you see. Even if you close your eyes, you might see colors or shapes. Noticing what you hear. You choose to play music, the sounds in the neighborhood or in your home. Noticing what you smell and taste. Having the felt sense of your body in this space. Maybe you notice the sensation of the surface below you. Feel air, clothing where it touches skin. And letting that awareness move into sensing the body itself. Muscles, bones, joints, organs. The body is breathing. You don't need to change anything. Let your awareness rest in noticing the rise and fall of the chest and belly. You're aware of the sense of breath moving past the nostrils or the lips. If it feels right to you, you can start to lengthen and deepen the breath. Even experimenting with making the exhale just a little bit longer than the inhale, just seeing how that makes you feel. Take some time here to welcome any intention or any focus that you have for your practice today. You can. If you want to join me, my intention is to welcome new perspective. Let's take another breath here. Maybe taking a deep breath, filling the lungs up from the bottom to the top, side to side, front to back. Lungs are full of air, and then we'll exhale, let it go inside. Start to add some movement. We'll stay here on our back and we'll bend our knees, letting our shins come parallel to the ceiling. Hands can rest on the knees. The elbows are soft. Hug our knees in towards the chest. You may notice that your low back starts to flatten on the mat and your tailbone lifts up. And then we'll inhale and start to straighten the elbows and push the knees away. And then your low back may start to arch a little bit off the mat and tailbone might rock onto the mat. We'll do that as a movement. Exhale, drawing the knees in. Exhale, pushing them away. Seeing that gentle spinal warm up. Let's do that for just a couple breaths. And hug the knees back in. Let the hands come down to our sides, so palms face down. Arms are connected to the earth. Shoulder blades are connected to the earth. We're going to do a spinal twist. We're going to inhale. Let the knees come over to the right. They don't have to come all the way down. See if you can keep your shoulder blades on the earth. And then exhale, draw the navel back towards the spine, using that core strength to bring the knees back to the middle. And then we'll go to the other side as we inhale. And we'll use the breath to go from side to side. Another option here, you can put the feet down, do that same movement. Free to use whatever option works best for you today. And maybe one more to each side so that you're even. Once we're back in the middle, if you want to hug the knees in, you can rock a little bit if that feels good to you. Maybe rock side to side, low back and massage. Back to stillness. And we're going to come all the way over to our hands and knees. So you can take your knees to one side and push yourself up and come around that way. But if it feels good to you to rock and roll, or rock up and then come over. And let's find ourselves in a tabletop position. Bringing our knees right underneath our hips, our wrists underneath our shoulders, fingertips spread wide, finger pointing right to the top of the mat. I want to feel that sense that we're lifting. So the arms are fairly straight, not walking out the elbows, but also not bending them out. See if we can feel a long line from our tailbone pointing behind us to the top of our head, pointing out in front. Feel that sense that the muscles right behind our navel are drawing up and in to keep the spine long. Just suck our gut in, but they're just a little bit firm. This is how this feels. We're going to hold on to this sensation. Then we're going to inhale, let the belly soften, lift the tailbone up, lift the collarbone up. So this is another spinal warm-up. Exhale. Rounding the shoulders, doming up the mat, lifting back at the side. And then we'll roll through that a couple times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. One more time. One more inhale. One more exhale. Back to that tabletop, back to that long spine. You can feel that sense that we're balanced between both hands. And we're going to slide that right leg back behind us, tuck the toes, and lean into that heel, like we're trying to bring that right heel to the wall behind us. That's the sensation we want to feel. If you want to feel even more intensity, you can press your fingertips into the mat. Imagine you're trying to slide your hands towards the front of the mat, but they don't go anywhere. And if that feels like too much, you can back off that intensity. So you can dial that up or down. Feel right for you. And with the next exhale, let's bring that right knee back down. We'll do the other side, stretching left heel back. Taking a few breaths here, finding that sensation all along the back of the leg. Exhale, let's release back down. We'll stretch the right leg back again. You can keep the toes on the mat, or this time if you want to lift the toes up, we don't have to come up super high. Just come up to where your heel is maybe in line with your hips. If you can't come up that high, that's fine. Go to where you can reach to. See if you can point the toes down towards the mat. Let's take one more breath. And then we'll bring the right knee back down and go to the left once again. And if you don't want to lift the toes up, you don't have to. You can do what we did last time and stay right here. If you want to, you can start to lift. See if you can line that heel up with the hip to the best of your ability. And see if you can keep the hips square. Sometimes when we extend one leg, we start to open. That's another posture. We might do that some other time, but this time we're going to keep the hips square. And exhale, let's come back down. One more time, stretching the right leg back. Either of those options are fine. And then you can stay here, or if you want to add a little bit more challenge with your balance and core strength, you can take the opposite arm. So if right leg is back, left arm lifts, thumb faces towards the ceiling. Just that balance challenge here. It might be a little wobbly, that's fine. Every time you engage your muscles to find that balance, you're getting stronger. And exhale, let's come back down. Go to the other side, left leg back, either toes on the mat or lifted. And then if you want to, I invite you to challenge yourself, reach that right arm out in front of you, thumb to the sky, like you're reaching to shake someone's hand, which you get to do right now. We can pretend. And exhale, let's come back down. And we can step our knees a little bit wider. Let our hips come back towards our heels. Okay, if they don't touch. Find ourselves in a child's pose. So you can bring your head down towards the mat. Or you can always come back here. Child's pose or to any other posture that gives you a sense of comfort and ease. Whatever you want to rest or catch your breath or get refocused. Come back and join us wherever we are in our practice. Let's take one more breath. We're going to change this a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of a flow. So arms are stretched out in front of us, fingertips spread wide. We're going to start to lift our hips off of our heels. Bring ourselves back towards that tabletop and then let the belly drop, let the tailbone, chest lift, so we're back in that cow posture. And then exhale, come just to tabletop, so not all the way into cow, just to the tabletop. So that's one option. Come back to child's pose. Inhale, lifting back to that cow pose. Exhale, you can stay in tabletop. You can tuck your toes, lift your knees, and come into an inverted V, a downward facing dog. And if you come into this option, remember it's okay to bend the knees. See if you can get the hips high and the chest towards the thighs. So the shoulders are back behind the wrists. They're not over the wrists. That's more of a plank. One more breath here. And let's lower the knees down if we're in downward facing dog. And once again, meet back in child's pose. Inhale. You can come back into cow. And then once again, exhale. Stay in tabletop, or you can come into that downward facing dog. Spend a little more time here. This round. Take one more breath. And then let's lower back down. Child's pose. Take a breath here. We're going to move through that flow. Once more, spending even more time in downward facing dog. Inhale. All the way into cow. Lifting through the chest. Exhale. Coming back to tabletop. Maybe tucking the toes, lifting the knees, and finding downward facing dog. breathing here. You can even bend one knee, let the other heel get even closer to the mat, and then switch sides. Walk out that dog. Come back into stillness. Let's step the feet a little wider, bend the knees, look up at our fingertips. And we're going to start to walk the hands and feet together. You can keep the hands on the mat, or if you want to use a block here to lift your hands a little higher, you can. Keep your hands here. You can even press them against the front of the legs if you want. And if anyone does feel dizzy, try getting your head above your heart. Maybe bend the knees a little bit more and drop the hips. See if that helps alleviate any dizziness. Otherwise, come into one of those other options. You can even grab the elbows and hang if that feels good. Add a little movement here. Maybe bend one knee and then the other and sway a little. Becoming aware of the muscles in your neck and shoulders. Holding on to some tension there. Maybe shake the head yes or shake the head no. See if you can get some of that to release. Top of the head get heavy towards the earth. Let's come back to being still. Bring our hands to our heads. Bend the knees even more. Press into the heels and use the thighs, activating that to come up to standing. And you can shake that out. And turn to face you. We'll do a standing flow of movements. Build some strength. And before we start to move, let's once again welcome some stillness. So bringing the feet about hips distance apart. So our skeletal hips, those bony parts where our waistband of our pants is, stacking that above the knees, ankles are under that, toes pressed forward, finding that sense of rooting down into the earth, heels, outside edges of the feet and the big toes pressing down. And as we press down, we'll feel the muscles of the legs energize, feel that energy move up the sides of the body. That's lengthening the spine, to the top of the head. Strong and tall and powerful here. And then let's also balance that with some ease. So releasing any tension that we might find in between our eyebrows, softening any tension we might find in our jaw, letting the tops of the shoulders drop away from the ears. Arms are at ease at our sides. We're going to rotate the arms to the belly of the arm. The bicep is facing forward. Feel those shoulder blades slide down the back, chest open. Let's check in with our knees. If they are locked out, let's just ever so slightly let them soften. Breathe here, noticing that sensation in the body. Powerful, at ease. Breathing. Welcoming back that sense of focus or intention. Next breath in. Let's inhale, reach our arms up. And exhale, bring our hands to the heart. Inhale, reaching up again, letting the palms face forward to the best of your ability, and let the chest lift into a little bit of a back bend. If it's comfortable for you to look up, you can. I have a neck injury, so I'm gonna look forward, and then exhale. Let's hinge through the hips, soften the knees, and fold forward. And inhale, we're gonna come about halfway up. See if we can find that same long spine we found when we were in tabletop. And I'm gonna turn and you can get the top of the back flat, even if you need to bend the knees a little bit more. So better soft knees and flat back than to lock out the legs and be rounded. You can find that sensation, feel that strength in the core. Hands can support you in front of your legs. If you want to challenge that core a little more, hands can come to heart center. One more breath. Exhale, let's soften the knees even more. The hips lower, let the chest come near the thighs. And then on the next inhale, we're gonna roll those shoulders back, slide the shoulder blades down the back, lift the chest. Can you keep the hips where they are? And like you're hovering right over a chair. Again, hands can be at heart center. I like to reach them out in front. You can also use them just above your knees for a little support. Let's take one more breath and then press the heels down. Come back up to standing. Turn back to face you. Find that sense of strength and ease once again in our posture. We're going to do that again. We're going to hold that chair posture just a little bit longer. Inhale, chin up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Inhaling, back bend. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, coming halfway up, soften the knees. Find that long, flat back. And then exhale. Now let's soften the knees even more. Lower the hips, bring the chest to the thighs. We're prepping for that chair pose. Inhale, lift the chest. Slide those shoulder blades down the back. Breathe here. See if you can keep your hips where they are. Take a couple more breaths here. And remember, if you need to come out of it, that's fine. You don't have to hold to see what challenge you can find today. Next inhale. Let's press the heels down, back to mountain. Finding that ease and well-being, that sense of being grounded and powerful right here. I'm going to do that one more time. Inhale. Exhaling to heart. Inhaling to back bend. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling halfway up. Exhaling, soften the knees, lower the hips, bring the chest towards the thighs, and then inhale, let's keep the hips where they are, lift the chest up, find that powerful posture. Feel those thighs working, the weight shifts just a little bit here for balance into your heels. Do you feel that shift? You have to change perspective, change that sensation just a little bit to stay balanced. More breath. Let's press down and come up. If you want to shake that out a little bit, go ahead. And here, I'm going to do some warrior postures and open through the side body a little bit. So let's step the feet wide. And really stepping them wider than maybe feels comfortable or feels typical. So I usually like to use my hands extended and then imagine that my ankles are coming so that they're right underneath my wrists. Try that and see if that's a good distance for you. And then we're going to turn the toes to point forward. And then let's inhale, reach up. And exhale, bring our hands to our hips. And then inhale, let's find a little back bend here, lift the chest. And then exhale from those hip bones, let's hinge forward into forward fold. And let's just come down halfway. Let's find that flat back again. You can even slide the hands a little further down the legs if you want a little support. See if you can soften the knees so they're not locked out. And inhale, let's come back up again, nice and tall. And then we're going to take that right foot and we're going to pivot and point the toes towards the short edge of the mat. If you take a glance down and look at that right heel and drew a line straight back, which should be right about the middle of the left foot, that's going to help with balance. And we're going to keep ourselves centered right over the pelvis. The shoulders are right over the pelvis. We're not tilting forward or back right now. And then let's float those arms up again, stretch fingertip to fingertip. And we're gonna start to bend that right knee. You can bend it a little bit so that it's behind the ankle. You can bend it until it's all the way right on top of the ankle. But try to avoid bending it to where it comes way over the ankle. If you come that far, maybe back off a little, maybe slide that foot a little further out. Let's take a glance down at that knee. We want to keep it lined up with that second and third toe. So if the knee starts to drift in towards the front, use that strength in your thigh and your seat. You may feel more openness in that hip flexor. Then let's turn and look over the right shoulder. Breathe in here. One more breath. Our body is still turned towards the front. It's just our head that turns to look over the shoulder. And then let's drop the arms. And now we are going to tilt. So we're going to lean towards that bent right knee. See if we can make a long line from the outside edge of that left foot all the way to our left shoulder. Hand might be resting on your thigh, or you might be on your forearm. People even slide the right arm to the inside, the right knee. Walk, you want to do that. Just notice the torso here. If coming down lower makes you rotate and start to face down, then go ahead and come back up higher again. See if you can find that place where you can still keep the front body turned towards that long edge of the mat. Hand can stay where it is. If you want to, you can stretch the left bicep by the left ear. Good. Side angle with an extension. Let's take one more breath here. And we'll drop the arms and straighten those legs. And then we'll come into a triangle posture. So similar idea, but now both legs are straight. Start to slide that right hand down the right leg. Only coming to where you can still keep the body rotated to the front. So if you start to feel that urge to let that left shoulder come out in front of you, bring the hand up a little higher. Use a block here if that feels better. And then if you want to, this time you can stretch that left hand right up to the ceiling. So making sort of a triangle shape with the body. Let's breathe here. One more breath. Cartwheel back up. Turn the right toes to face the front again. Do another forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. This time you can press against the front of the legs. Hold a little deeper. Soften the knees a little bit. Notice where that balance is in your feet. Do you feel yourself shifting? The balls of the feet or back to the heels? Can you find that place where your weight is even? Let's soften the knees, press into the outside edges of the feet. Come back up. And we'll do that sequence on the other side. So turning left toes, lining up the left heel with the instep of the right foot, still keeping the body centered and tall. Bend that left knee. Sure that it's in alignment, even with the body turned. And then we can float the arms up. Look over left shoulder. In our warrior two posture, let's breathe here. One more breath. Drop the arms, and now we'll start to tilt the body. So we're making that long line from the outside edge of the right foot to that right shoulder, finding where you want to rest that left hand or left forearm. So keeping the body turned to the front. And then again, if you want to add that extension, stretch all the way from the right fingertips, the right edge of to the edge of the right foot. And breathe here. breath. Release the arms, come back up, straighten that leg. Find our triangle, sliding left hand down left leg. And if you want to come and reach up to the sky with the right arm, you can, but you don't have to. You can keep it here. And let's come back up. Toes towards the front again. Let's do one more fold. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bringing hands behind the back. You can grab the wrists or the forearms, or you can interlace the fingers and pull the knuckles down to the earth so you can get really open in the front body. And then exhale, hinging through the hips, folding forward. Keep hands interlaced. If you want to release them out to the sides, again, you can use the support of your legs or bring them down to the earth. Here. And then softening knees, pressing into the edges of the feet. Let's come back up and release the arms. I'm going to bring the feet a little closer together, be about shoulder distance apart, and let the toes be open wide. Do a little bit more here standing, and then we'll come back down to the mat. So let's reach arms overhead, interlace fingers, pointer fingers to the sky, biceps by the ears, and then exhale into side bend. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. Inhaling back to center. And let's release the arms out like a big star, five-pointed star here. And exhale, we'll bend the knees, lower the hips like we're coming into the squat. We're going to bend the elbows like cactus arms. Draw the shoulder blades back towards each other. Draw the elbows back towards each other so we're open in the chest. Pressing through the heels. Inhale, let's reach back up to big star. Exhale, bend and lower. Inhale, reach and stretch. Exhale, bend and lower. And then this time we'll bring our hands just above our knees. Lift through the chest, lengthen the spine, and we'll dip one shoulder down and find a smile. Pressing against the end sides of the thigh. Inhale back to center, exhale, other side. Inhaling back to center, and let's slowly lower down all the way to the mat. We can come back to child's pose and check in with how we feel. One more breath. Our hands back. We're going to do some more opening through the front body. And you can stand on your knees, camel posture. That's how I'll demonstrate it. But if being on your knees doesn't feel right, you can do this seated. Or if you want to be on your knees and just add a little extra cushion, maybe double up the mat, a towel or a blanket, you're welcome to do that. Turn to face you. And just like in our mountain posture, we're going to line up our joints so the hip bones are above the knees. If you look back at your ankles are right behind your knees. You can either let the tops of your feet rest on the mat. If you want to tuck the toes, do that. A little bit of a opening on the bottoms of the feet there. Stand tall on our knees or sit up tall if we're seated. And we'll inhale, push the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands behind the hips, fingertips pointing down like you're about to put them in the pockets of your pants. We're going to draw the shoulder blades and the elbows back towards each other, opening through the chest. And then let's start to lift the chest. So a little bit of a back bend here. Again, if it's comfortable for your neck to look up, you're welcome to do that. Since I have a neck injury, I like to keep my chin tucked, so do what works best for you. Be aware of your breath here. If you start to feel like your breath is ragged or you feel that you're trying to hold your breath, that's your body sending a message. You've just gone a little deeper than you need to. So just come out a bit. Give yourself a little space to breathe in. Take one more breath. And then we'll release. Come back up tall. Shake that out. Let's do another round of camel. So we'll inhale and reach up. And exhale, bring the hands to the back of the hips again. Do exactly what we did before. Or I'll show you another option. You can reach the left hand back towards the left heel and reach the right arm up. And as you exhale, we're going to switch. The arms are going to meet in the middle. And then inhale, left hand comes to left heel, right hand comes to right heel, left hand lifts up. And then exhale and inhale and switch again. And you can do this dancing camel at your own pace, moving side to side. Be fine where you're even to both sides if you're doing this dancing option. And then come back to the middle and shake it out. And we have one more variation I'm going to show you. You can do either of the first two options, or you can do this variation. Let's inhale and reach up. Exhale, once again, we can start with our hands on the back of the hips and find that variation. And you can stay here if you want, or you can do that dancing camel again. Or if it's part of your practice, you can reach both hands back to rest on your heels. And again, I'll try and show you that. I find that a little easier when my toes are tucked. Let's see if you can breathe. Again, if you get back here, you can touch, but then you can't breathe, and come to one of the other options. You want to be able to breathe. And let's take one more breath. And hands to the back of the hips if they're not already there. Untuck the feet. Oh, that feels good. And that out. And we'll let our weight come to one side and bring our legs around in front. And I'm going to try to get myself centered on the mat because we're going to bring it all the way down. So you can use your hands behind your thighs or on the mat so that you can lower down with control. If you do want to challenge that core strength just a little bit more, you can let the palms face each other. See if you can slow that descent down. Come all the way onto the mat. Step the heels in a little closer to the seat. And cross the right ankle over the left knee into this figure 4 posture. Already getting some nice opening here. Just like this, you don't need to change anything. If you'd like to, you can lift that left foot up. Hug the knees in a little bit closer to the chest. You can even interlace those hands behind the left thigh. You can stay in either of those options in stillness. If you have that left foot lifted, you want to explore some more movement before we settle into our rest. You can maybe move through the foot or ankle, that left knee. Rock a little bit side to side through that left hip. Finding any additional ease that you want to find before we settle into our rest. Left foot is lifted. Let's release it back down. And we're going to find a twist here. So press the arms down next to our sides. Keep the shoulder blades rooted down and let the legs fall over towards the left. If you need to shift the hips a little bit so that your spine can stay long in this twist, go ahead. Your legs don't come all the way to the mat, that's fine. Block, or if you have a thick book at home, you can kind of use that, or maybe a pillow or a rolled up blanket to something to rest your legs on. And you can even change the crossing of the legs if you want to change how that's arranged. Just find what works for you. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, we'll come back to the middle. We're going to switch sides. So right foot is down, left ankle is over right knee. Do the same thing here. You can stay in stillness. Come to that reverse pigeon. And maybe add some movement. Feel like you need a little bit more movement to get joints to be at ease. That right foot is lifted. We'll bring it back down. Find our twist to the other side. Inhaling back to center and crossing the legs. If there's any other movement or any other shape you want to come into so that you can be at ease when we move into our rest and meditation this evening, go ahead. Sit up so that you'll be able to hear me clearly. You want to cover up, use any pillows or anything to feel supported and at ease. If you need to dim your lights, go ahead and do whatever's going to allow you to feel supported and at ease for about the next 15 minutes or so. In a resting position. Let your eyes soften, even close if you want. And aware of your breath again. You've been controlling your breath during our physical movement. All that control to release. Body breathe its natural rhythm again. It's okay if you drift in and out of sleep, or even if you fall completely asleep and you really needed the rest. Still get the benefits of the meditation. Welcoming an awareness of the body. Checking in with your jaw, your arms, your shoulders, torso, your legs. If there's any movements you need to make to feel just a little bit more supported and at ease now or anytime during the practice, you're welcome to. senses be open to the environment around you. Aware of any sounds that may be around you, but letting those sounds be far away. There's nothing you need to do about them right now. The sensation of warmth or coolness where the air touches your skin, or the surface below you. Perhaps just the beginning of a sense of being at ease or letting go in your body and mind. Begin by bringing attention to your inner resource, or that felt sense in your body where you experience the feeling of being secure, strong, and at ease. A sense of being grounded or a sense of well-being. It's helpful to sense this in the body. You can imagine a place, a person, your pet, or some experience that you've had that supports you to feel secure and at ease in this moment. You can use all of your senses to enhance this experience. Sounds, sights, sensations, smells, and tastes. Invite ease and well-being to your entire body and mind. You can return to this sense of well-being and ease, this inner resource, whenever you want to. It always exists within you. Come back to it anytime, day or night, during this practice. Whenever you need to rest, restore, feel totally pure and at ease. Mind your intention for your practice. Perhaps to rest deeply, to be open and welcoming to new perspectives. Maybe to feel secure and at ease with yourself. Whatever your intention, feel and affirm it within you as though it were already true. Allowing that sense of intention to deepen and grow within you. So it begins to develop into a sense of your heartfelt mission in life. The feeling of life living you with meaning, purpose, and value. Welcoming sensation. As you rotate attention through the body, so as I name each part of the body, notice what you experience there. Maybe something, much of anything. Whatever you experience is perfect. It's the way it is. Noticing the sensations of your mouth. Sensing the ears. Without thinking, sensing the nose, nostrils, eyes. Welcoming sensations in the forehead, crown of the head, neck, sensing the shoulders, sensation down the arms, the back of the hand, up to the fingertips, sensing the palms of the hand. Sensing the chest and belly, upper and lower back, the entire torso as sensation without thinking, simply experiencing. Wake to sensation in the pelvis, feet, sensation, legs, across the tops of the feet, to the tips of the toes, sensing the soles of the feet. Sensing now the entire body. Full body alive with sensation. Attention open to sensation and to everything that's present in your room. The air of the body, breathing itself. Natural flow of air and sensation, nostrils, throat, chest, belly. The body breathing itself, beginning count backward from 7. Yes, inhale, 7. Exhale, 7. Inhale, 6. Exhale, 6. Exhale on. If you lose count, you count back to 0. Simply start again at 7. Breathing itself, sensing, counting backward from 7. Alert and attentive. Next exhale, releasing, counting. Coming back to sensing the entire body. Sensing everything that's present in your awareness. Any sensations that may be present. Warmth or coolness. Heaviness or lightness. Tension. All these sensations, trying to change anything. Everything be just as it is. Be welcoming any emotions that are present. Not trying to change anything. Any emotions that may be present. Everything be just as it is. To come back to that felt sense of ease and well-being in your inner resource. Come back at any time. You're ready to come back to observing sensations, emotions. Also noticing and welcoming any thoughts that may be present. that all these experiences are like objects, coming and going in awareness, rising and falling in awareness, just like the breath rises and falls in the body. There's nothing you need to do. Notice that you're the observer of all these experiences. Awake and aware, observing sensations, emotions, and thoughts. Observing without trying to change anything. Everything just as it is. Welcoming sense of joy, happiness in your body. Recall a memory of a particular person, animal, place, or circumstance that invites joy or happiness into your body. Noticing how you experience joy or happiness. Is it like a warm glow, an inner smile, color, image, or taste, smell, music? Where you sense it, notice where it begins in the body. Imagine that it is expanding from there to be in every part of your body. Your whole body becomes alive with your sense, joy, and happiness. Body, face, torso, arms, and legs, every cell alive, experience of joy. It feels right. Take a few moments while sensing joy or happiness to welcome in the felt sense of your inner resource. Feeling secure, grounded, and at ease. Noting how you're the observer of all that's now present in your awareness. Taken aware of sensations, emotions, thoughts, and joy. Observing without trying to change anything. Everything just as it is. What you need to do is your time to simply be. And everything be just as it is. Yourself as awareness everywhere. Front, behind, left, right, inside, outside. Resting here, being awareness. Awake, aware, at ease. And just as it is. Sensing yourself as whole. To yourself, the world around you, to all of life. And as you're resting here, if it feels right, moments to welcome in the felt sense of your inner resource. Feeling secure, grounded, and at ease. As you're ready, into the day. You can start to deepen your breath. Maybe take a deep breath and let it go with a sigh. Maybe make small movements or stretch. Still feeling that sense of wholeness. Affirming again your inner resource of well-being, your heartfelt mission, that felt sense of life filling you with meaning, purpose, and value. Many intentions at this time that you wish to take with you into your daily life or into your next practice. Support you in realizing and living your heartfelt mission. Know the truth that in every moment you always have within you resources you need to respond to each situation and circumstance in your life. You can take your time here. Stay resting if you prefer, or if you want to come back to seated, you can. Finding a sense of gratitude. Sharing that gratitude with yourself for taking time for your health and wellness. I thank you for sharing your practice with me. The best part of me sees the best part.